Hello everybody, my name is Patrick, and today I'm going to be doing a 4-year update on my Gold's Gym XR 6.1 bench model that I got from Walmart for $100. Now, this is also going to be my final update because I will be upgrading for reasons I will tell you about in this video. But first, let's go over how the bench has held up over the years. Now, if you can see here, around year 2, I want to say, this became crooked because I started using it more and more often and adding more and more weight, and the weight load on it is 100 pounds. Now, I didn't know that at the time, so I loaded it up to like 150 pounds, and the bolts here started to bend and crack. So I had to lighten the weight, and that stopped it from damaging any further, but from that point forward, it was no longer straight. Now, moving on to the bed of the bench, it still wobbles around and stuff like that, and so I would often have to tape it down, and even a bolt just fell out there onto the ground from me doing that. That's great, but my point, back to my original point, which is that, it wobbles around like this and I had to tape it down. And I got a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, just tighten the bolt here. It's not tight enough. That's why it does that. Well, no, that's as tight as it goes. It's literally as tight as it goes, and it still wobbles around like that. So that's not a solution to that problem. That being said, moving down to that bolts that just fell out here, that actually reminded me of something, and that's that sometimes bolts would actually fall out of the bottom like that, and, they're tight in there, but I have to sometimes crawl under the bench and put those bolts back into place to make sure that, my bench doesn't fall apart mid-set. So I have to literally sometimes just go under there and tighten them and stuff. And just do that sort of general maintenance every now and again. Now, moving up to the pegs here, initially I had to tape them into place because otherwise they would rotate up, and I was afraid that the pegs might come out if that is done enough mid-set or something, so I taped them down, and that is the original tape that I put there like pretty much week 1, and it stayed on, and the pegs never flipped up again, so that was a good solution to that problem. Now, a main problem that I have with this bench, and it's something that it has been a problem since the day I bought it. I think I even said this in my very first video on it, and that's that the pegs where the bar sits ideally is where I would want my bench grip width to be. And so I can't do that, so I either have to do close grip or wide grip, and I opted for wide grip. And that basically, at first, was fine, but as I got stronger and stronger on the bench, and the weight kept going up and up and up, eventually I kept getting injured from, like, either my pec being stretched too far or my wrist not being in alignment, because if you are benching, how you're supposed to bench is with your wrist straight, kind of like when you punch. But if you're benching like wide grip, then your wrist isn't straight. It's like curved like this. And so your bones aren't resting on top of each other. And so your wrist collapsed in on itself. And that kept happening to me over and over and over again. And so then I corrected it. And then just recently I injured my pec. So that is why I am getting rid of this bench and upgrading to a newer model. Now, overall, this bench was literally only $100, and it lasted me 4 years, and for a $100 bench, I honestly think that that's pretty good. You know what I mean? It's literally just the problem of I have outgrown this product, but I really did like having a leg extension and leg curl machine at the bottom, not to mention you could adjust the bench in different angles. So I really, really liked this product for what it was, but unfortunately I have just outgrown it, and it is time for me to get a newer model. If you are a newer fitness enthusiast, I would definitely recommend this bench, but if you're more advanced and can bench heavier, I would definitely look elsewhere. All right, guys, I've been Patrick, and I'll see you next time.